Awareness by Osho, Part 2. The collective unconscious is the whole of humanity that has lived up to now. It is part of you. The unconscious is your individual unconscious that society has repressed in you, that has not been allowed expression. Hence, it comes by the back door in the night in your dreams. And the conscious mind, I will call it the so called conscious mind because it is only so called. It is so tiny, just a flicker. But even if it is just a flicker, it is important because it has the seed. The seeds are always small. It has great potential. Now a totally new dimension is opening up. Just as Freud opened the dimensions below the conscious, Sir Aurobindo opened the dimensions above the conscious. Freud and Sir Aurobindo are the two most important people of this age. Both are intellectuals. Neither of them is an awakened person, but both have done a great service of humanity. Intellectually, they have made us aware that we are not so small as we appear from the surface, that the surface is hiding great depths and heights. Freud went into the depths. Sir Aurobindo tried to penetrate into the heights. Above our so-called conscious mind is the real conscious mind that is attained only through meditation. When your ordinary conscious mind is added to meditation, when the ordinary conscious mind is plus meditation, it becomes the real conscious mind. Beyond the real conscious mind is the superconscious mind. When you are meditating, you have only glimpses. Meditation is a groping in the dark. Yes, a few windows open up, but you fall back again and again. Superconscious mind means samadhi. You have attained a crystal clear perceptiveness. You have attained an integrated awareness. Now you cannot fall below it. It is yours. Even in sleep, it will remain with you. Beyond the superconscious is the collective superconscious. The collective superconscious is what is known as God in the religions. And beyond the collective superconscious is the cosmic superconscious, which even goes beyond the gods. Buddha calls it nirvana. Mahavira calls it kaivalya. Hindu mystics have called it moksha. You can call it the truth. These are the 9 states of your being, and you are just living in a small corner of your being. The tiny conscious mind. It is as if somebody has a palace and has completely forgotten about the palace and has started living on the porch and thinks this is all. Freud and Sir Aurobindo are both great intellectual giants, pioneers, philosophers, but both are doing guesswork. Instead of teaching students the philosophy of Bertrand Russell, Alfred North Whitehead, Martin Heidegger, John Paul Sartre, it would be far better if people were taught more about Sir Aurobindo, because he is the greatest philosopher of this age. But he is completely neglected, ignored by the academic world. The reason is, even to read Sir Aurobindo will make you feel that you are unaware. And he himself is not a Buddha yet, but still he will create embarrassment for you. If he is right, then what are you doing? Then why are you not exploring the heights of your own being? Freud was accepted with great resistance, but finally he was accepted. Sir Aurobindo is not even accepted yet. In fact, there is not even any opposition to him. He is simply ignored. And the reason is clear. Freud talks about something below you that is not so embarrassing. You can feel good knowing that you are conscious. And below your consciousness, there is subconsciousness and unconsciousness and collective unconsciousness. But those states are all below you. You are at the top. You can feel very good. But if you study Sir Aurobindo, you will feel embarrassed, offended, because these are higher states than you. And man's ego never wants to accept that there is anything higher than him. Man wants to believe that he is the pinnacle, the climax, the Gauri Shankar, the Everest, that there is and nothing higher than him. And it feels good. Denying your own kingdom, denying your own heights, you feel very good. Look at the foolishness of it. Buddha is right. He says, the fool sleeps as if he were already dead, but the master is awake and he lives forever. Awareness is eternal. It knows no death. Only unawareness dies. If you remain unconscious, asleep, you will have to die again. If you want to get rid of this whole misery of being born and dying again and again, if you want to get rid of the wheel of birth and death, you will have to become absolutely alert. You will have to reach higher and higher into consciousness. And these things are not to be accepted on intellectual grounds. These things have to become experiential. These things have to become existential. I'm not telling you to be convinced philosophically because philosophical convictions brings nothing. No harvest. The real harvest comes only when you make great effort to wake yourself up. But these intellectual maps can create a desire, a longing in you, can make you aware of the potential, of the possible, can make you aware that you are not what you appear to be. You are far more. The fool sleeps as if he were already dead, but the master is awake and he lives forever. He watches. He is clear. Simple and beautiful statements. Truth is always simple and always beautiful. Just to see the simplicity of these two statements, but how much they contain. Worlds within worlds, infinite worlds. He watches. He is clear. The only thing that has to be learned is watchfulness. Watch. Watch every act that you do. Watch every thought that passes in your mind. Watch every desire that takes possession of you. Watch even small gestures. Walking, talking, eating, taking a bath. Go on watching everything. Let everything become an opportunity to watch. Don't eat mechanically. Don't just go on stuffing yourself. Be very watchful. Chew well and watchfully, and you will be surprised how much you have been missing up to now. Because every bite will give you tremendous satisfaction. If you eat watchfully, food will become more tasty. Even ordinary food tastes good if you're watchful. And if you're not watchful, you can eat the most tasty food, but there will be no taste in it because there is nobody to watch. You simply go on stuffing yourself. Eat slowly, watchfully. Each bite has to be chewed, tasted. Smell, touch, feel the breeze and the sun rays. Look at the moon and just become a silent pool of watchfulness, and the moon will be reflected in you with tremendous beauty. Move in life remaining continuously watchful. Again and again you will forget. Don't become miserable because of that. It is natural. For millions of lives, you have never tried watchfulness. So it is simple, natural, that you go on forgetting again and again. But the moment you remember, again watch. Remember one thing. When you remember that you have forgotten watching, don't become sorry. Don't repent. Otherwise, again you are wasting time. Don't feel miserable. I missed again. Don't start feeling I am a sinner. Don't start condemning yourself because this is a sheer waste of time. Never repent for the past. Live in the moment. If you had forgotten, so what? It was natural. It has become a habit and habits die hard. And these are not habits imbibed in one life. These are habits imbibed in millions of lives. So if you can remain watchful even for a few moments, feel thankful. Even those few moments are more than that can be expected. He watches. He is clear. And when you watch, a clarity arises. Why does clarity arise out of watchfulness? Because the more watchful you become, the more all your hastiness slows down. You become more graceful. As you watch, your chattering mind chatters less because the energy that was becoming chattering is turning and becoming watchfulness. It is the same energy. Now more and more energy will be transformed into watchfulness. and the mind will not get its nourishment. Thoughts will start becoming thinner. They will start losing weight. Slowly, they will start dying. And as thoughts start dying, clarity arises. Now your mind becomes a mirror. How happy he is! And when one is clear, one is blissful. Confusion is the root cause of misery. It is clarity that is the foundation of blissfulness. How happy he is! For he sees that wakefulness is life. And now he knows there is no death because wakefulness can never be destroyed. When death comes, you will watch it too. You will die watching. Watching will not die. Your body will disappear, dust unto dust, but your watchfulness will remain. It will become part of the cosmic whole. It will become cosmic consciousness. In these moments, the seers of the Upanishads declare, Aham Brahmasmi. I am the cosmic consciousness. It is in such spaces the Al-Hilaj Mansur announced, Ana-i-Haq. I am the truth. These are the heights which are your birthright. If you are not getting them, only you are responsible and nobody else. How happy he is, for he sees that wakefulness is life. How happy he is, following the path of the awakened. With great perseverance, he meditates, seeking freedom and happiness. Listen to these words attentively. With great perseverance. Unless you bring total effort to waking yourself up, it is not going to happen. Partial efforts are futile. You cannot be just so-so. You cannot be just lukewarm. It is not going to help. Lukewarm water cannot evaporate. The lukewarm efforts to be alert are bound to fail. Transformation happens only when you put your total energy into it. When you are boiling at 100 degrees Celsius, then you evaporate. Then the alchemical change happens. Then you start rising up. Have you not watched? Water flows downwards, but vapor rises upwards. Exactly the same happens. Unconsciousness goes downwards, consciousness goes upwards. And one thing more, upward is synonym with inward and downward is synonyms with outward. Consciousness goes inward, unconsciousness goes outward. Unconscious makes you interested in others, things, people, but it is always the others. Unconsciousness keeps you completely in darkness. Your eyes go on being focused on others. It creates a kind of exteriority. It makes you extroverts. Consciousness creates interiority. It makes you introverts. It makes you inward, deeper and deeper. And deeper also means higher and higher. They grow simultaneously, just as trees grow. You only see it growing upward. You don't see the roots going downward. But first, the roots have to go downward. Only then can the tree grow upward. If a tree wants to reach the sky, then it will have to send roots to the very bottom, to the lowest depths possible. The tree grows simultaneously in both directions. In exactly the same way, consciousness grows upward, downward. It sends its root into your being. Misery is a state of unconsciousness. We are miserable because we are not aware of what we are doing, of what we are thinking, of what we are feeling. So we are continuously contradicting ourselves each moment. Action goes in one direction, thinking goes in another, feeling is somewhere else. We go on falling apart. We become more and more fragmented. That's what misery is. We lose integration. We lose unity. We become absolutely centerless, just a periphery. How happy he is, for he sees that wakefulness is life. How happy he is, following the path of the awakened. With great perseverance, he meditates, seeking freedom and happiness. Listen to these words attentively. With great perseverance. Unless you bring total effort to waking yourself up, it is not going to happen. Partial efforts are futile. You cannot be just so. You cannot be just lukewarm. It is not going to help. Lukewarm water cannot evaporate. The lukewarm efforts to be alert are bound to fail. Transformation happens only when you put your total energy into it. When you are boiling at 100 degrees Celsius, then you evaporate. Then the alchemical change happens. Then you start rising up. Have you not watched? Water flows downwards, but vapor rises upwards. Exactly the same happens. Unconsciousness goes downwards, consciousness goes upwards. And one thing more, upward is synonym with inward, and downward is synonyms with outward. Consciousness goes inward, unconsciousness goes outward. Unconscious makes you interested in others, things, people, but it is always the others. Unconsciousness keeps you completely in darkness. Your eyes go on being focused on others. It creates a kind of exteriority. It makes you extroverts. Consciousness creates interiority. It makes you introverts. It makes you inward, deeper and deeper. And deeper also means higher and higher. They grow simultaneously, just as trees grow. You only see it growing upward. You don't see the roots going downward. But first, the roots have to go downward. Only then can the tree grow upward. If a tree wants to reach the sky, then it will have to send roots to the very bottom, to the lowest depths possible. The tree grows simultaneously in both directions. In exactly the same way, consciousness grows upward, downward. It sends its root into your being. Their chaos is no more. They become more of a cosmos. And then again, a deeper peace prevails. And when your body and your mind are at peace, you will see that they are attuned to each other too. That is a bridge. Now they are not running in different directions. They are not riding on different horses. For the first time, there is a accord, and that accord helps immensely to work on the third step. That is becoming aware of your feelings, emotions, moods. That is the subtlest layer and the most difficult. But if you can be aware of the thoughts, then it is just one step more. A little more intense awareness is needed as you start reflecting your moods, your emotions, your feelings. Once you are aware of all these three, they all become joined into one phenomenon. And when all these three are one, functioning together, have perfectly humming together, you can feel the music of all the three. They have become an orchestra. Then the fourth happens, which you cannot do. It happens of its own accord. It is a gift from the whole. It is a reward for those who have done these three. And the fourth is the ultimate awareness that makes one awakened. One becomes aware of one's awareness. That is the fourth. That makes one a Buddha, the awakened one. And only in that awakening does one come to know what bliss is. The body knows pleasure, the mind knows happiness, the heart knows joy, the fourth knows bliss. Bliss is the goal. The awareness is the path towards it.